Well, good evening, guys. We've warmed up considerably since the last time I saw you. We're probably almost hit 87, somewhere around 85 today. Very nice. At least we're having a decent spring. Hope you guys are having one too. Took a little time off to get some stuff together. I was going to do some kind of, Scott Kirk inspired me and my cousin to inject some stuff, so I'm working with some video splicing, but you know, the more I got to thinking about it, when I do these things, it's spontaneous. It's from the heart. It really is. So all the technical stuff, and I know I got and that stuff in there, but y'all guys just bear with me, because these are memories coming to me from growing up with Roger. So this is another night of growing up with Roger. Like I said, until we can all get together and celebrate his life together, which I think will be sooner than everybody thinks. But that said, I think the last time I laid off, we went from a little short spurt of DeKalb, and then moved on to Lawton, Oklahoma. My dad is an insurance salesman and found his niche. I think he got experience being a Navy recruiter doing that. So he found his niche, and I mean, he went bananas. We went from being okay to, I mean, my cousin Richard Kirk looks back on and says his rich uncle. Of course, we were probably upper middle class maybe, but you know, you wouldn't have known it. You would have thought we were millionaires because the way my dad lived his life. And that's the way he taught all of us, which is, you know, share. And like I said, my dad was a big giver and never expected anything in return. And so he taught that to all of us. And we try to carry that on. We come from a long line of givers. You know, Scripture talks about being a cheerful giver. Well, our word cheerful comes from the Greek and Latin is hilare, which is hilarious. So we're to be hilarious givers. You know, just give it away and laugh about it. Because if you give to get, you won't get anything in return other than grief. But if you give out of the kindness of your heart and compassion, you'll be blessed a millionfold. And that's the way our family was. It really was. I think Lawton was kind of the unraveling of that fairy tale thing. I think it went along with the Kennedy assassination, Camelot, and America lost its innocence, and there was a lot of turmoil, and you know, that's where my brother and I grew apart. You know, he grew more mature than me. I was still in grade school, and he was his freshman in high school, and actually back in Lawton, you were still like King Daddy-O in junior high. They went 1 through 6, then went 1 through 6, and then 3 grades, 7, 8, 9, and then 3 grades were sophomore, junior, senior in high school, but your freshman year, you earn credits. But anyway, I'll try to speed this up. I don't want to keep you guys longer than it has to be. Just share a few memories every night. We actually had some great times before we kind of split up. My brother went on to college. One time in particular, man, I was trying to be a Boy Scout, and I was a tenderfoot. And we met out at the National Guard Armory. My brother his duty was to give me a ride out there. So, you know, unfortunately, we had a scout leader that was just like absentee. I mean, it was horrible. But anyway, one night we were supposed to, we had it all planned, and it was a Boy Scout thing, going to get together. We had our packs, our parents all delivered us to the place, and actually it's Roger's turn again, you know, to do it. And so Roger took me to the National Guard Armory. We're going to spend a night out in Wichita Mountains, camping, Boy Scout style. And we get there, and the scoutmaster and his assistants couldn't make it. And, you know, we did live in Lawton, Oklahoma, which was Fort Sill. So it was an artillery base, and this was Vietnam and all of that going on. So they would get called away. So I will stick up for him for that. But, you know, it still didn't go well with a kid being disappointed not going to camping. And so my brother and his friend get this crazy idea that we just want to tell mom and dad, we'll just take y'all guys out there. I'm like, cool, let's go. So they took us camping, and it was the time of our life, man. Wichita Mountain Range, look it up. You can get pictures of it, man. It's awesome. Mount Scott, big old mountain. You can wind around it in a car and get up on top. In Oklahoma, after 8 o'clock, the wind blew blew after that, regardless, say 24/7. But during the summertime, you had to go skiing or fishing before 8 o'clock. The wind got up and you just couldn't do it anymore. But anyway, so we were out there, and there was a place called the Bat Caves, and it was these gigantic boulders, probably as big as this barn or bigger. They were stacked on top of each other, rolled off, no telling when. And inside these boulders, man, you could go in and out of caves, and it was really, really cool. I never was a caver, but as long as I had somebody with me, and we were doing all that, where my brother and his buddy would take off hiding, we'd go find them and stuff like that. And they did a little initiation stuff like you would do in Boy Scouts. It was really, he would have made a tremendous Boy Scout, what do you call it, troop leader. No, that's Cub Scouts, but he would have been a Scout Master. He'd have been, outstanding. Not only would you have gotten all your badges, he would have helped you, and you probably would have made Eagle Scout faster, because that's how he's fast-tracked everything. But anyway, long story short, we get home the next day, and my dad finds out, I guess he had connections with the soldiers and stuff like that, finds out that we didn't actually have a Boy Scout camp out. It was my brother took us out there, and so he got a big bunch of trouble, and my mom kind of took up for him, and we weren't hurt, everything was fine. Like I said, he was, he scared the crap out of us several times, but then my dad would have done that, so anyway, that was one of my fondest memories of Roger in in Oklahoma. And, I could tell you a million stories. Lawton was a thug town, lots of fighting, and I mean thugs. They were like West Side Story without the musical. That's the way Lawton was. It was just a knockdown, drag out, cookie, lend me your comb, greased hair pulled back, and then you're shifting from that in the 68, 67 year, 70 and 69 year into the anti-war establishment. You're doing stuff like, growing their hair out. My dad cut our hair military style all the time. First big argument I hear my mom and him and my brother get into is he don't want to get his hair cut no more. And that was one thing. I did catch a lot of flack being a middle boy, because my brother was too little, Bobby, and my older brother had already done it, so I had to do it. So I kind of caught that, but then again, I caught a little bit of the good stuff, because my brother went through the fire first, so it wasn't as hard for me to go through the fire. And not wanting to get my hair cut after they'd been through that fiasco, that was just a given. Like, I ain't fighting, you go ahead. And so we grew our hair out, and it started hippie days and stuff like that. My brother goes off to college, like I said, and that's where we kind of split ways until he went from college back to Horatio, Arkansas, where my mom and dad still had a house, my grandparents' house. They had passed away, but on her side, Paul and Granny Ward, they had a house there, and then my dad had a house beside that. We lived there a long time, for one, in my childhood. But my brother moved back there because no one was living there, and rent free, and just made the best of it. And the hippie, they had you could have called a hippie commune, whatever. Everybody's this flower child, love and peace and all that, and everything that went with it. The story, drugs and rock and roll. That's just, but I will tell you, the baby boomers had the best music, because now they're trying to repeat it and do all kinds of stuff, but everything was original when we were growing up. And it was just fabulous. We had the best cars, we had the best music, and we had the best, I think the best women, because we had miniskirts. So that was really, exciting for a young man, 16 years old, mini skirts. But anyway, so back to me and Roger. So we were there. My dad got the general manager's job in Killeen, was going to move. So my mom says, "Well, you're setting it up. Let's go back to DeKalb." And so we went back to DeKalb, and where my uncle's a doctor, Dr. Ward, and bought a place out in the country. We moved first over in Eisenhower district. There's a brand new district over there. And we actually lived across the street from Dan Blocker's, Hoss Cartwright's mom. Of course, you never saw him. He was a big star, that kind of stuff. But it was fun times. Lived down the street from my Aunt Myrnie. Her name was Mary, but as a kid, I couldn't say Mary. I said Myrnie, so everybody called her Aunt Myrnie. And then my brother was living over there in Arkansas. And then we went to, my mom wanted to move down here with my dad until they set the place up or down here in Killeen, which was just in between Waco and Austin. And they took my little brother with them, Bobby, and he finished high school there, and left me there at the house by myself. And so to take care of the place. And so I was into all kinds of stuff, rodeo and you name it, like an idiot, but it was fun. But everybody there will, and I'll go through that, and on another time, we'll do that. We'll do the DeKalb thing tomorrow. Just kind of wanted to flush through Lawton and kind of catch back up with you guys. Don't really have a song to play. Like I say, I don't play a whole lot, but I'll just leave you guys with just a little melody as it comes out. Peace, love, a little patriotic tonight, as you can see. Love this country, love America. I love people, and I love all of y'all. See you tomorrow night. DeKalb, I mean, what inspired after that was unbelievable. It was really a great time. Talk to y'all tomorrow.